أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, joining all of us in this session, in which we talk about how to most effectively make use of Ramzan, this most blessed month of Ramzan, in while staying within the modern world. Right. So it's been a series. We started off with about how Ramzan should be and how it actually is and how we can bridge the gap between the two. We spoke about muraqabah or meditation from a worldly perspective. We spoke about the issues of social media usage, and most recently yesterday about the law of the Sheikh. While it may not seem so, I think these are all interconnected in some way. And inshallah, hopefully Allah clarifies this as we go forward. So before I start on today's topic, which is our love for Nabi Kareem, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I just want to make one thing clear that I'll be launching into a short bayan, but the purpose of today's and the series of uh, these are discussions, collaborative discussion space, not so much a typical bayan. I just initially want to share some of my thoughts with this esteemed audience that has taken the time out. I suppose in their yearning to get closer to Allah. So the purpose just to give a short, not even a bayan, a sharing of thoughts, and then opening it up to the audience so that you may ask questions, share your thoughts, make comments, and then together, inshallah, come to a better outcome. This is as much Islah for me as I suppose it is for you, all those of you joining. So without further ado, when I was younger, I think it must have been class 5 or class 6, and the teacher asked the class we were in, our teacher, to write an essay on our hero. As is often the case in schools, as an English language exercise. And people spoke about, obviously, the father of the nation, Qaid-e-Azam, sports people, a variety of prototypical people to emulate. And I remember 3 were picked out from the list. One was classmate of mine. She wrote an Enid Blyton. And I have to say it was beautiful the way she wrote that essay. And I still remember one of the closing. I really like nice literature prose about how on an evening, as I sit in my living room and I hear the fire crackling, I heard the words of Enid Blyton. I'm just paraphrasing right now, but it was beautiful. The twist is still in my head. But that was one that was picked. And another was picked was by this essay on Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I just think now, I understand out of a class of, I suppose, 30, just 3%, one person picked out Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a hero to emulate. And I give props to the teacher who selected that to speak out about it. And then it was spoken in front of the class. And to my father, who gave me the inspiration to talk on Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I say that because, again, before somehow stumbling on the most precious lottery in my life, becoming the luckiest person in this whole universe, coming across my sheikh, becoming bed to him, coming on the spot, I would say that I was completely ignorant about what the purpose of my life is. It's about career and getting good grades and I suppose family. And now I think about it, so it's just so empty. All the more so when you learn that the first thing Allah created was Nure Muhammadiyya sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This entire universe was created for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, I came across this saying. It was so simple and so profound. I've kept it on my status repeatedly. I can't get enough of it. If Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not have been there, nothing would have been there. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nothing would have been here. Allah created you, me, all of creation for the rahmatul alameen, for the mercy towards humankind. I'm not good with words, but I don't know how to express what I'm trying to say over here in the right words. And I suppose it can't be done. There's no justice that can be done. But my point I'm trying to make is that how much of darkness and almost ignorance we Muslims are in terms of our priorities and what our focus and who our hero is and who it is that we have to emulate, who it is that we have to just drown into. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I from that essay, going to school, KGS, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was at best a footnote. Auzubillah. In terms of what one's purpose is and how one has to lead their life. Moving to the Netherlands, you saw Muslims, including especially myself. It was even more in the background. And things haven't improved since then. I look at how, and this isn't a political talk, but even with the current Palestine issue, it's about, oh, look at the West hypocrisy. Oh, look at where are the feminists talking about the women of Palestine? Where are the human rights organizations? Where's the humanity? And I just wonder, these are Muslims who are saying this. Honestly, who cares what they have to say? The point is just, why are we looking towards them for their approval? And again, there's nothing against them. They're very nice people. I spent over a decade over there. Very nice people. I'm talking from my perspective and your perspective, and all those people joining in this Ummatul Muslimin. Why are we looking towards them when we have Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? This is our badbakhti. I don't know the English word for that. This is our misfortune that we are looking towards them, whereas we have in front of us the entire reason of our existence, the emulation and the love of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And I'm not speaking from a spiritual perspective, brothers and sisters. I'm speaking from, that's fine later on. I'm talking from a worldly perspective even. This entire arc of discussions we've had, I've not even tried to bring spirituality into it. Sure, it's unavoidable, but more, I'm trying to keep it as worldly as possible. Why is it that we can't see this priceless treasure that we have? Rahmatul Alameen, Shafiul Musbeen, Rahmatul Alameen, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Why can't we just accept it that this is the way to go? Why do we have to be something that we're not, that we're not supposed to be? Just taking the small things, getting up at Fajr. When I started doing that, and with the niyat of emulating Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, my life changed. Versus working in my sales job where the market, I start getting calls at 11:30. And this West that we look up to, our Sheikh often gives example. I saw it myself. People are waking up at 6 a.m. and the highways are full. So those who are not blessed with the message but are following it, they will get there. I mean, the ajr of following the Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is so strong that even the disbelievers, without even the intention of emulating Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, gain such enormous benefit from it. So why can't you and I do this? And again, I'm not talking from a spiritual perspective. I'm talking from a worldly perspective. Person like me, I'm interested in, making it in this world. So fine, do that, desire that, but then please, you and I, we have this living example in front of us. Just follow him. Again, I'm not talking about spirituality. If I look at the spiritual perspective, the love of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if I take my Sheikh's example, my Sheikh is an endless ocean of love for his Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When I hear my Sheikh talk, and one has to be there to experience it, what I mean. His love for the Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is so vast, so deep. I don't mean this as a figure of speech. I don't mean this as a metaphor. I don't mean this as hyperbole. But I, when I just touched its shallowest shores, I almost thought I was going. It almost felt like drowning. So, but I'm not even going over there. Sorry, I've taken more time than is necessary. But please understand this. It's our misfortune if we don't hold fast onto this priceless treasure that has been gifted to us by Allah. Allah doesn't need our love for Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah loves Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So everything, like I said, is created for him. We need it. We need to love our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If you want to get to Allah, that's the only way forward. And if that's not enough, if just a world, a person like myself wants all that this world has to offer, fine. Even in that, you will get your part. So please think about this. Read the seerahs of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Read this Sunnah. There's so much that Islam is sharing. Start dusting your bed just 3 times. It's a forgotten Sunnah, Mitivi Sunnah as we call it. And the blessing of it is equivalent to 100 Badri Shaheeds. There's no Sunnah that's too small. But the purpose is just to show the depthlessness of each Sunnah. So do that. Work yourself upwards. Connect yourself to a Shaykh so that your Shaykh may guide you to that ocean I was talking about. And I promise you, inshallah, it'll be well worth your time. So now opening it up to the questions. Assalamu alaikum, Saad bhai. How can one increase steadfastness and conviction in following the orders of one's Shaykh? Yeah, I think one way is to figure out how can I have more and more adab towards my Shaykh. How can I increase my etiquette towards the Shaykh? Because what happens, I feel, is that the more one increases their etiquette towards their Shaykh, the more attentive one is towards one's Shaykh, the more attentive one is to one's Shaykh. And the Shaykh is focused on every single salikin, every one of his student, and giving him his share and guiding him. But if the salik is not attentive, which comes from adab, from etiquette, he or she will not be able to gain from uh, attentiveness of one's sheikh. So, other etiquette, staying silent in the presence of one's sheikh when everyone around is talking, um, waiting for just a drop of a word where your sheikh issues a command to you and you immediately leap forward to fulfill it, or where you are the first person to sit in front of your sheikh and um, no one else is sitting around and he's sitting on his table, let's say, and having his tea, and you be the first person to go and sit in front of him, even when he's not intending to impart something on you or to talk on something, but he may. But the fact that you're attuned towards him with such strong etiquette, the way you both your zahir, you're outwardly sitting correctly, respectfully, not cross-legged, attentive, and all, and internally also, your heart is turned towards your shaykh. So etiquette is, I think, the one way that one can increase steadfastness and conviction in following the orders of one shaykh. Excuse me. Then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, I've heard from one of the sheikhs and also in one of the dini books that those who don't have a sheikh, their sheikh is shaitan. उसका कोई पीर नहीं, उसका शैतान है. उसका कोई पीर नहीं, उसका पीर शैतान है. Could you please explain, and also those who don't have sheikhs, it means that they're following shaitan, except who don't have sheikhs. So, the brother is asking that if one doesn't have a sheikh, then it is said by our Akabirin that shaitan is their sheikh. Absolutely. And all the more so in the modern world, where thanks to the barakat of YouTube, uh, there, there is a new message every click away. It's a massive confusion. What is correct? What is not correct? The videos that are gaining attention. I think internet is better now. The videos that are gaining attention are there for clicks, and how you get clicks is by picking often the most controversial topics. I've come across people who jump from one thing to the next, pick the most mundane, peripheral, controversial conversations, which I never in my life heard of, but all of a sudden these things are becoming popular. Why? Because some person who has no background in deen, has no knowledge, doesn't have the foundation, doesn't have the base, doesn't have the adab and the etiquette that comes from following one's teachers and the humility that is gained by talking to the teachers who have traversed this path, uh, and made efforts, and had their character molded by their teachers. Um, who don't so yeah, these people don't follow people who have um, made many efforts on this path and whose background is I don't know, some doctor, engineer, something impressive, I don't know, but I hear incredible things. And this is shaitan with his very successful strategy of sending you in this direction and that direction. You have to, there is a clear instruction that's been given. Again, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he has been sent as example, as the teacher, as a guide for humankind, for mankind. Could not the Sahaba have gained the Quran? They understood Arabic perfectly well. Could they not have had direct intercession? Why the Prophet sent? To guide to guide humans. Because a person like myself, the tendency is to go astray unless one doesn't grab uh, a steadfast rope. So even in your studies, I mean, come on, if you're not going to, for those who don't believe one needs a peer, okay, fine, get your surgery next time. Someone who hasn't gone through the proper training method, to teachers to guide him or her do proper surgery, fine. Just go to someone who has opened YouTube and has learned how to do surgery. People can't do People don't want to get the surgery done on such a person, but they want to follow every Tom, Dick, and Harry in trying to improve their team. So I'm sorry, it's my purpose is not to uh, look down on anyone. My purpose is just to say that, look, please get a shave, a rightful shave. Yeah, it's your and my responsibility is to ensure that the shape that we're following fulfills the requirements, is following Shariat, is not involved in Gunai Kabira, um, fulfills those requirements and hold on to it. And then, with proper etiquette, follows that sheikh, whatever the sheikh says. Takes bed with him. Bed means to just lie down and just agree to whatever is being told to be done. So I hope that answers your question. So yes, if you don't have a sheikh, there's a very strong chance that you're going to be misguided. The next question is, can anyone attend the etikaf lectures of your sheikh? On our etikaf, our sheikh is the one who's giving lectures. So absolutely, you are welcome to come. Absolutely. Inshallah, after we sit after Isha prayers, our Isha Taraweeh and Muraqabah, and Sheikh Sahib gives an informal gathering. That's where our Talashi our series comes from, in which we ask questions to our Sheikh, and then after that, we there is a bayan that's given. So no, there's no arrangement for ladies at the mosque itself, but they can join online. And I think I would highly encourage everyone to take advantage of it. It's very beneficial, very, very, very beneficial. Do you have any tips or tricks to consistently follow sunnahs in one's life? Yeah, I would say there's one trick. It's muraqabah. I think muraqabah it softens your receptivity and your jazba. It softens your heart and opens you up to the love of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And when you love someone or you love something, then you just want to follow every habit. You just want to follow that person, right? So the way to increase, I think, one's love is through muraqabah. It opens up your heart to receive the love of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So I think muraqabah, however short, 15 minutes even, but keep it consistent. And inshallah, this boundless heart will open up and make you want to emulate the Sharia more and more. How can one stay motivated if they aren't able to get a grip on their ibadat in Ramzan and they feel like giving up? The second part, I would say, just don't do that, and the first will inshallah happen. Right? Just don't give up, and inshallah you'll get a grip on it. Keep going, brother. Can you suggest any translations of Quran in English? Absolutely. I myself am reading the easy translation, the concise translation by Hazrat Taqi Usmani Sahib, Dawud Khatam Ali. I'm benefiting immensely from it. So it's very easy, it's very nice, very accessible. And just so you know, mashallah, this was written by Hazrat Sheikh Taqi Usmani Sahib, Taqi Usmani Sahib, Dawud Khatam Ali, on his journeys, airplane journeys. Mashallah, doesn't waste a minute. This titan, so which is also a lesson, I think, and a sunnah not to waste your time and look at the amazing things that can be achieved. How do these people find so much time? Because they love the Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they want to emulate Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they follow the sunnah. That's all they do. Not all, that's what they do, and look at the response. They are lovers, they're ashiqs of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Also, is there a specific quote of our beloved Shaykh Dawud Khatam Ali that has a profound impact on you? Uh, Let me share three. Uh, I shared two with you yesterday. Allah ko Allah se Allah ke liye mango. Ask Allah of Allah for Allah. And I'm sorry, I don't know the English translation properly of it. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ki sachi daimi hakiki shifaa फरमावे. Uh, I may get found correct. I'm sorry, I don't want to translate. I'll get the translation. In fact, I have it. If you just bear with me 1 second, so I do little justice with it. Sorry, 1 second. Here it is. Yes. May Allah grant us true, eternal, and genuine love for the Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That and the third one, which is for a worldly person such as myself, that by following the Sunnah and traversing this path, you will get the hereafter, but you will get both the hereafter and this world. Personally, I'm person like me is more interested in the latter, but I think it's awesome because you can get the hereafter also. So just traverse this path, and my friends, you will get this world also and this hereafter, and that keeps a person like me going. It's a great package deal. Is there a specific hadith that has a really profound impact on you? Why? You know, the person asking this question is asking great questions. Yeah, specific hadith. Let me share this book I'm reading with you right now. 1 second. My sheikh permitted me to read this. Always ask your sheikh permission to read some books and you will gain much from it. So I'm reading this amazing book by Hazrat Ashraf Thani Rahmatullah. It's called Hakikatil Tariqa Min Al Sunnah Al Anika, which is translated as a Sufi study of Hadith. Oh my. Wow, what a book. So there's no specific Hadith. They're all awesome. They're all great. And everything is, as I mentioned, ocean without end. Ask your sheikh always before wanting to read uh, a book on this path, especially in general also, that you may gain the full barakat of it. I missed one question. What's the habit of your sheikh that you recently adopted? Uh, Putting on new clothes and perfuming up and doing the Sharif. That was one of the habits, and I gained immensely from. It's not a small habit, but you get my point. Small habit, and brothers and sisters, you will gain the hereafter, but this world also. Okay, so do these things, and great package deal. Amazing things will happen. And one more, just to follow up on a question I received yesterday, which I promised to follow up, which was that how do I know if my actions in Ramzan are pleasing Allah or displeasing Allah? And I was stumped, to be honest. This person asked great questions. Everyone is asking great questions, but this guy got me. And I reached out to the beloved Khalifa of my Sheikh Zishan Khatum Ali, who answered it beautifully. And I'll just hear it once, so I recall it again. I need to look at to identify whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with us or angry with us. Simple litmus test is just look what is keeping us busy with throughout the course of the day. So litmus test is that what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeping us busy with during the course of the day? And we'll find out. And we'll find out. Us busy in things that make him happy. If he's keeping us busy in things that make him happy, then you know you're on the right track. And if he's keeping us busy, or if we're busy with things that displease him, you'll know you're not on the right track. Right? And again, this is not just traditional ibadah, which is 5 to 10%. This is also your work and how you're dealing with your colleagues and how you're going home and how you're dealing with your body. Are you kind to your body? Are you giving good time to your friends? How are you behaving in traffic? It's all these things, okay? Please, not just am I doing my 5,000 Durud Sharifs and 5,000. Yes, you do that, but don't forget this 5, 10, maybe 15% if you add in the tasbihat. Critical, foundational, but please keep that also in mind. It's your work also and your home life also and all those things. After all my efforts, I still fall into sins. Does that mean Allah is angry with me? After all my mistakes, my parents still forgive me and love me. So yeah, they may get angry with me, but Allah loves us more than 70 mothers. So no, don't worry, Allah is not angry with you. Don't persist in displeasing Allah. But worst case scenario, inshallah, in the hereafter, that's what I'm relying on. I can tell Allah, Allah, I made an effort. So just keep making an effort, inshallah, with Allah's forgiveness and mercy. We've moved, I think, into the mercy third of Ramzan. So with Allah's mercy, with Allah's forgiveness and mercy, inshallah, we will succeed. Brothers and sisters, I would love to continue. These are very nice questions, but as per our Sheikh's instructions and as per the Sunnah, we have a hard stop at 11. So I'll just take this one last question, if that's fine with you. If I've missed any, just please let me know. And if you will join tomorrow, I promise to take that up, if that's not an issue with you. And if you still want me to answer right now, I'll do so. So I'll just close this one last question, and then we can inshallah continue tomorrow. Last question is, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very constantly wearing imama, and what was the proportion of his wearing turban versus imama? I'll have to find out. It's a good question, and it will be a learning for me also. Let me get back to you on this, the proportion of imama and turban. I hope I've answered all the questions. If I've missed anything, just let me know, and or let's take something. Right. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for joining. Jazakallah for taking the time out, and I really look forward to hanging out with you all tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.